Hey girl, hey, welcome to the Hey Girl, Hey podcast. I'm your host, Kim Miller. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. And I am so excited. So I'm back recording interviews. I haven't recorded any interviews the whole year of 2024. So 2025, I'm jumping back in. And I was like, who are the people that are inspiring me right now? And my guest today is one of those people. So introduce yourself, tell everybody your name and who you are, where you're from.
My name is Sharail. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And yeah. That's me.
Like, that's me. So me and you got introduced from Kayla from Buffalo. So how do you know Kayla? Tell me your connection to her. Because she was like, I want you to know this girl. She wants to do 75 hard. And I was like, yes, introduce us.
I think I put something up, a post up, and she had said something about, she's trying to, she's about to get into her 75 hard. She's about to do a challenge. And I was like, oh, you about to do a challenge? I want to do a challenge too. And then she told me about you was doing a 75 hard challenge. I was like, yes, because I was never completed this. So I would love to do it with somebody. And that's how I didn't even know her. I just read her comment, and then she introduced me. She said, well, my friend here, she's doing it, and that's how we connected.
I love how social media works like that, because I'm thinking y'all knew each other like y'all was friends.
Nope, I didn't even know her. I was like, I want to do it too. She said, well, I'm not the one who's actually doing it, but I could introduce you to the person. So I was like, yes, let me know. And that's how it went.
I love that even more, how the world works now. Okay, so you have inspired me because you are getting up at like 4 a.m. every morning. You have children, you work. So like you are literally the epitome of what wellness looks like right now for just the everyday woman. And so tell me a little bit about your upbringing, like what did growing up look like for you so we can get to how you got to the point you are now today.
Well, growing up, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Mom was like 10 kids. I was the oldest one. So I was really the one that's more responsible. My mother was a young mom. She's 27 years old. So she was a party mother. She never was really at home. So basically, as the oldest child, I took in more of the responsibility at such a young age. We're talking about 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, taking care of kids. Missed a whole high school grade because I had to stay home to care for kids. So my upbringing, I was like a young mom. I already was placed in that position to be organized, placed in a position to be responsible at such a young age. So when I got older, it kind of just clicks all into one because I was already raised that way. I was already I was thrown in a position where I didn't ask for. So it was accustomed to my lifestyle. And then also I went into the military for 4 years. So that's where the actual discipline comes in from, the actual military and the organization and parting ways and doing things a certain kind of way came from just me growing up and raising 9 other kids when I was a kid myself.
Wow. So in retrospect, do you feel like I'm trying to word this correctly because I know our parents did the best they could with what they had. But do you feel grateful for being thrown into that at that age? Or do you kind of feel like something like how do you feel about that now looking back?
I still have missing pieces, it's like an emotional topic for me, but it's still like missing pieces because it's like I was thrown in a position where I missed my childhood. So if I can say if I can go back in time, no, I wish I wasn't raised that way. I wish I had the opportunity to do the things that other kids did, or go to the prom, be with their friends, do certain things, but I couldn't do it because I was in a position where I had to be a little mom at the time. So if I can go back, I would want my childhood back. Some that I never got. So I don't even know, so I wouldn't. But I knew how I was raised. I knew I was going to raise my children differently. And sometimes as a child, you can't pick how you're raised. You're just put in a position and this is how it is. And as a child, you just gravitate to certain things. You can go another way and start doing drugs and doing this, or you could take things in perspective and say, well, this is not what I'm going to do. When I get older, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it like this. So at a young age, at the age of 11, already 12, I was already planning my life way ahead of time, but I didn't include no kids in my lifestyle. I thought I was going to be a grown up taking care of my siblings, not realizing that we are in the same age group.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I turn 20, I'm going to take all these kids from my mom. I'm going to take care of them, not realizing that we're 1-2 years apart. How are you doing this? But at the time, I didn't realize that. And with these kids that I have now, I have so many, there wasn't a part of my thinking when I was young, but it all just ran into place. I guess, God put you in positions where you're able to handle it, and that was that. But if I answer your question, if I can go back in time, as far as would I be happy that that I was raised this way, so I can be able to do the things I'm doing? No, I wouldn't. I would want to go back and grab my childhood like most kids had growing up.
Yeah. So how did military come about? Was that kind of like an escape for you, or did you have a plan for that?
It was an escape. I went to school, I went to college, and when I went to college, I kind of messed up in college. Was in a co-ed dorm, and I was doing all type of crazy things, and I kind of flunked, and financial aid wasn't going to cover me anymore. And when I came home, my mom said, "Yeah, I told you wasn't going to make it." And when she told me that just gave me some type of a battery in my back, and I'm there like, so what I'm gonna do now? So my boyfriend joined the military at the time, so I said, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to join the military. She didn't think I was going to do it, but it was definitely an escape because she still had all these kids, raising them. And like I said, I thought I was going to be old enough to raise them, but they wound up being the same age as me. So they were all raised, they had their own different attitudes, and it was just too much in the household. So me going into the military was just a stepping stone up because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life now that I fell out of college. And then secondly, I wanted just to get away. I needed to get away from this environment that I've been in all my life. So that was mainly the reasons why I joined the military. But when I did join the military, I had a mission. My mission was to get my degree because my mother already put that stigma in my back, whereas I told you was going to fail. Mm-hmm. So I didn't fail. I did join the military. I left the military with a master's degree. So I had I had a mission when I went in there.
Wow, that's a beautiful story. And I love that you can always hear people who took perspective and applied it differently, because you use that as motivation where some people, would have just crumbled.
Yeah. I use it as motivation. I mean, at times you crumble when you think that you like, oh my gosh, was she right? But I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it.
That's so deep. Even just seeing you on social now, that gives me a little more insight on like how you are a mother to your kids. Like, at least from what I see, like you're such a beautiful mom to your kiddos.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got to get into these kiddos because you got a lot of kiddos.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Again, I love that you have a lot of children, but you still do a lot of things that some people can't figure out how to manage. So when did kids start coming into play for you in terms of like military, graduating? Like, when did you start having children?
Well, I had my first kid I had when I was here before I went to the military. And then when I went into the military, I kind of just started having kids while I was in there. I had my daughter in there, and I wound up getting out. I wound up getting my degree, and I wound up getting out, and I started having kids thereafter after that. So I only had like 2 kids in the military.
Oh, sorry, you back.
It's okay, yes.
So you had 2 kids while you were in the military, and then when you came out, you just like had like a child every other year?
Yeah, what happened was when I came out at first, so I didn't want to come out at first. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I don't know if anybody been in the military before, but when you go in the military, they have a structured lifestyle. You get up at 6 a.m, you work out, you get a certain pay every month, you get have an eating schedule. So everything is really structured for you. You don't have to worry about no clothes. They buy you a uniform. So everything is like set in stone, whereas you don't have nothing really to worry about. And when I finished my 4 years, I was anticipating on staying, but all I kept saying was, I have my master's degree. Why are you too scared to get out? And I was scared. And when I did get out, I wanted to go back in, but I said, you know what? No, I said that there's a lot of people in this world who's not in the military and they're making good money, and you can do the same thing. Just go out there and do those hard things. So I didn't go back. I didn't go back in, and I got out the military. When I first got out the military, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a job lined up. I got pregnant when I got out the military with another kid, and I wasn't sure of where my life was bringing me. I came back home to my mom. I stayed with her for a while, and I said, no, that's not going to work. So I left and I moved where my kid's father was, and that kind of didn't work. Wound up in a shelter and stuff like that. So I wound up coming back to my mom when I got a position in New York. They called me and said, I applied for a job in high school. And they called me when I was 20 something years old and said that,
Wow.
do you want the job? And I said, yeah, but I was already like 9 months pregnant. So I was scared to go to the interview, but I still got on that plane. I went to the interview with big clothes. They didn't know I was pregnant. They just thought I was just a big girl. And I got the job. I started working at the job 4 days after I gave birth. They told me I was late. I supposed to have been at the job 2 days before I gave birth. And they said, if you don't come, we're going to close out this job for you. And I said, no, I'm coming. So I went to the doctor. I said, listen, you have to take this baby out of me. I said, I have a position. I'm in a shelter. I need to go back home, but I need to go home to a job. So what he did was he did take the baby out of me. Because I said, if you don't do it, I'm getting on that road. He took her out of me. And then I wound up, like I said, I was homeless. I was broke. I didn't have anything. I had like $1,500 to my name. I bought a vehicle for $900. I put all my kids in the car. I put my stuff in storage in Georgia, and I drove to New York and started that job that same day. And come to find out after that, once they found out that I had a baby, they said that all you had to do was tell us you had a baby and we would have held the position. We couldn't have took it from you. But I was young. I wasn't sure. So that's how the military and then the kids came about. Trickling came in about. I don't have a happy story where I had got married and we was living in the trenches. I actually have a inconsistent story where my kid's father used to come up every other year and we used to drink and smoke or whatever, and I get pregnant and he'll disappear. So half of my kids, 90% of my children are from him, and it didn't work out.
Girl, you just said a whole lot. Like you are, you are so wrong.
I didn't even know where to stop, where to cut, where to go. I was like, wait a minute,
because I don't even know where to interject. First of all, I mean, man, I'm just trying to figure out where did you pull that strength from? Like you've had a couple of times in your story, even just sharing it, that you had this supernatural strength that you pulled from. Like you saying it like it's real regular, but I'm like, how did you what was pushing you? Was it still your mother's words, you think? What was that?
I think what pushed me the most was things could be worse. Things could be worse because like I said, I grew up in a household where it was 10 of us, and we didn't grow up rich. We were really poor. It was times that we were in a shelter. It was times that we didn't have anything to eat. We had to eat rice and beans. So we've came far. It was time that we had to eat cereal with water, and sometimes we had to share cereal, same bowl with the milk, and like, don't drink all the milk. So I guess it comes from, I've been to the rock bottom, and if we were able to get from that through love and taking care of one another, no matter what. We didn't even have lights at times where we had to hurdle in front of a candle and just play spades because we didn't even have any lights. But the kids were so small, they never understood these things, but I did. So I guess me going through all of those things as a child, when I got older, I'm like, we were able to get past this, I know I can get past that. I know I can get past that. And I know there's people in worse positions than me. So I cannot complain about what I don't have, complain about what you do have. And you still have your wisdom. You still have your degree. You still have your knowledge. You just keep pushing forward. And like your mother said, you will have days where you think that the world's going to end, but you keep going. And at the end, there's a light at the end of that tunnel. It's not going to close on you, but if you give up on yourself, it will. So I guess that's what kept me going more. So I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Wow. And so you said you had children with your baby's father, and that was kind of inconsistent. At what point did you meet your husband?
Well, he was in jail at one point in time, and we did wind up, hold on. Charlie, close the door, please. We did wind up getting married. He was in jail. He got out, and we did wind up getting married. That relationship was just crazy, back and forth. But what happened was, it was one time that I finally, I was pregnant. Every time I got pregnant, I gained like 100 pounds. And I was just big. And my last two kids that I had with him, I was really big. I was like 300 pounds. And he just kept feeding me. And then one day I said, enough is enough. And I started to work out. And when I started to work out in 2012, the weight just started coming off, and I started to feel good about myself. And I guess he didn't like that. So he decided one day just to get up and leave. He came June 4th. He got up and he just left. It was raining outside. He said, come get these kids. And he just left. So he left on June the 4th. And, I'm still on my weight loss thing. And I'm like, okay, you gone, whatever. I'm going to still, when he left, I filled my room up with, got his stuff out. I bought me a treadmill. I said, you know what? I'm going to keep myself busy. I said, instead of soaking that he left or whatever the case may be, I'm going to occupy myself. So I got me a treadmill, like in the middle of the night. If I started crying because he left, I'll get up and I get on the treadmill. So working out became my tool of recovery. And then I just started shedding more and more and more weight. And then I met somebody else. And I met somebody else that next month in July. Long story short, we wound up getting together. I met him on Instagram. And I wound up literally getting pregnant that December. He came back. I guess he thought he was going to get his family back. He came back and he showed up at the door. I believe he showed back in the door in April. And I was already pregnant. And when he opened the door and I had a big old belly, and it goes down history from there.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So you had all your children. Now you're working out. So your fitness journey, and you share a lot about this on social, is like it's in like in response to pregnancy, you kind of get back on the wagon. So that was like your motivation, and that still has kind of been what drives you each time, just to get back in it.
Well, that doesn't more. I got a different. I'm driven differently now. Like beforehand, it was the fact that, I just got to stay in shape. I can't let myself go or whatever. Because it was times that I just let myself go. My husband was fine with where I looked, but I wasn't fine. But nowadays, it's more so the kids now. Like more so where when I go pick them up from school, when I go to their report card conference. I remember one time I was heavy and my son asked, can his father come? And I was like, why you don't want me to come? He said, Mom, because everybody makes fun of you and stuff like that. It shouldn't be the reason, but that was mostly my motivation to make sure that I took care of myself and I looked decent when I went to go pick up my kids, because even though I know they love me, but they felt a certain kind of way when I used to come to the school and pick them up, because their friends will tease and like, oh, look how big your mom is and stuff like that. And they didn't like that. So that has always been something in my head, that my son said that to me. So when I do have kids and I do give birth, I do want to get back into working out. And every time I just listen to what he said, Mom, can you please not come up to the school? Because I don't want my friends to make fun of you.
Yeah. And how old is your oldest versus your youngest right now?
28 and 1.
Oh, you got a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Aww. Okay, so I want to get into your workout regimen now, because that's where I came in and saw you. So tell us what you do. So let us know what time you go to bed at night, and then what your day looks like.
Okay, so I go to bed between 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, between 8 and 10. Sometimes I have little rough nights, maybe 11 or 12, it all depends, because my son, sometimes he have like rough nights. But for the most part, I'm in the bed at 9 o'clock. I get up at 4:25 in the morning. Have my clothes already out. As soon as I come home from work, I take out my work clothes. I take out my workout clothes. So when I roll off the bed, all I got to do is just put my stuff on, go in the bathroom, brush my teeth, get in my car. It takes me literally less than 10 minutes to get to the gym. So I'm in the gym between 5 and I'll say about 7 a.m., between 5 and 6:50 a.m. in there for 2 hours. And what I do my muscle group for like an hour, and then I do cardio between 45 minutes and an hour. Get back in my car, zoom, rush home, or whatever the case may be. The kids are old enough to pick up, to wear their own clothes. Like at nighttime, I take out their clothes is laid on the couch. So they're already getting up in the morning, putting on their stuff. So the time I walk in the door, they literally almost ready to walk out the door to go to school. I so happen their school is up the block from me, literally 2 blocks. They all just walk to school. I get in the shower, I put my clothes on. My boyfriend, he drives me to the train station. I get on the train station. I'm 2 stops from my job. I get off my job. I get to my job. I sit down. I relax. My job is a very relaxing job, so I'm able to make my breakfast. I'm able to drink my coffee. I'm able to make my lunch. So everything runs slowly at my job, where I'm able to feed into myself. Everything speeds up. the minute I leave my job and get back home, then I'm on my feet literally. I get up at work at 4. I get home like 4:30. I'm on my feet from 4:30 to literally 8:45 at night, trying to help them with their homework. I have 2 kids that help with homework. I'm literally feeding them. I put food on the stove and a crock pot, so when I come home, the meat is already done, and then I'm making a side, so I'm feeding them. I'm washing the dishes. My kids do not do any chores. I don't know why these kids don't do chores. So I'm literally cleaning up, sweeping, mopping, cleaning the bathroom. I clean up every single day, because if I let anything pile up, it's a mess. So every day, every piece of the house gets some type of attention. And then the kids go to bed and we just start all over. My day goes a little bit smoother when I telecommute. I'm allowed to telecommute 5 days out of the week. So when I telecommute, that means I come back home and I take a shower, and then I spread my spread out. Then I do my work from home. At lunchtime, I'll probably go across the street to the laundromat. So during the times that I'm home, those are the times that I probably go to the laundromat. At lunchtime, those are the times that maybe meal prep. It's when I telecommute from home. And that's mostly how the everyday lifestyle goes.
Yeah. Whew. Girl, I'm tired of hearing it. Excuse me, I got choked. So I want you to, I know that you have a lot that makes you, that you have this strength and tenacity, but what can you say to the parents who have maybe 2 kids, 3 kids, work, and they just can't figure out how to incorporate working out, how to incorporate meal prepping? Like, what would you say to get somebody over that initial hump of getting into that wellness space?
You will never ever be able to do it if you don't organize yourself.
Yeah.
Organization is like the number one key. It's not about motivation. It's not about I'm too tired. It's about being organized. I literally have a book where on Mondays I make phone calls when I call the doctors or whatever I'm doing for the kids. On Tuesdays I order whatever they need from Amazon. I have a list of their names with some things that they need. Like, okay, I know Gigi needs bras. I know Emmy needs this. So on Tuesdays I go to the list to see the things they need, and I will sit there and I'll check it off or whatever the case may be. On this day, I know these are days I go to the doctor. On this days I do this. See, my life is really organized, and that's the only thing that I know that works for me. It has nothing to do with motivation. It's has the fact that everything is planned out. Now, if everything is everywhere, like if you have everything scattered everywhere, it's like going into a room and having everything everywhere and don't know where to start. Where do I start cleaning up? And since the room is so scattered and everything is everywhere, you know what you do? You close the door and go to the next room. And then when you see stuff dirty in the next room, you sit there and you throw it in the other room. But now you got this whole big room that got all this stuff that needs to be taken care of. How are you going to take care of it when you keep piling so much stuff in there? Instead, you need to take your time out and start organizing, putting your shoes over there. You can't fit this. Donate that to the Salvation Army and stuff like that. So since my life is organized, I'm able to do that. Even with my trips, I have everything organized, and I can say that to say for anybody that's a single mom or even who have husbands and stuff like that, you need some type of organization. You need a calendar. You need a board. I have a big white board in my house where this is happening on this day. This is what I'm eating. This is what the kids is doing. This is what something got to do. My brain doesn't remember none of this. So for me, a big white board in 2 places in my house makes it better for me. The phone don't work, even though we put everything in the phone, but seeing it soon you walk in the house is a lot better. So, and I put it in the morning time because my kids didn't ask to be here. Mm-hmm. That's number one. They didn't ask to be here, and I want to give them my undivided attention as much possible, as much as I can. So I do plan my workouts in the morning where everybody is asleep, where I'm not disturbing nobody day. And then I'm available to my boyfriend, I'm available to my kids, I'm available to my job, and that's the advice that I would give. Like, just be more organized and try to, when you organize, try not to, shift your day with other things. And plus you have to pour into your cup. If you don't pour into your cup, how can you pour into somebody else's cup? If you don't take care of you, how can you take care of him? How can you take care of she? You're going to literally wind up breaking down and then starting resenting a lot of things because now you feel as though you're doing everything. Where really all you have to do is just sit there, organize, and also don't be scared to ask for help. task things out. Like I have an aunt. I'm like, can you make these kids dinner tonight? I'm running late from work. I have a sister. Can you order them pizza tonight? I'm not going to be there to be able to finish the meals. So that's another thing, just asking for help. Some people are just so closed-minded and they feel, so I can do this. I don't need nobody to help me. And I used to be that way. But now I'm more receptive to getting help from people, genuinely help from people that really want to help me and that will not talk behind my back.
Yeah.
So that's what I will say to somebody who is trying to interact these things and live your life. Like you only have one.
Yeah.
You only have one life to live. Live it abundantly. Enjoy yourself. Take that vacation. Go on that trip and be the person you want to be. You sit here and you live a life that you wish you can fit this. I wish I can go back there. You're not living. You're existing.
Yeah.
And that's all what you're doing, especially when you know what you want to feel like, what makes you happy, why you're taking pictures from the head up. Live your life.
Yeah.
Step into something, be uncomfortable. You can do the hard things and just keep going. Even when it's not going the way that you want it to go, keep going. Because everything eventually is going to smooth on out. But you have to believe in the process. If you don't believe in the process, why would the process continue to work for you?
Yeah.
You have to really look in the mirror and believe in yourself and knowing that you can do this. And I'm going to sit back here and I'm going to channel this and I'm going to write this down. I'm going to execute and I'm going to make it happen.
That's good, girl. And you are living proof, honey. So on top of your workouts, you do travel a lot. And that's another part of wellness that people are getting into. Like, I love that for you and for all of us. Like I aspire to travel as much. Do you travel like every quarter?
I travel every month.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's even better.
Yeah, I travel every month. And it doesn't have to be a big vacation. Like I live in New York. I can literally say, okay, I'm taking Thursday to Sunday off. I'm going to New Jersey. And I'll ask my aunt, hey, can you watch the kids for me? So I have a good support system. That's number one. That's what I'm grateful for. I have my sisters that really look up to me. And if I need any type of help, they are willing and able. They're not, no, I can't do this. They are literally right there. When you need it, what time, I'm there for you. So I have that in place, which I love. But I take vacation every month because it just gives myself time to rewind and get back to me and just relax and let the world go. You know, even if it's up the block in a hotel, I'll take that time every single month for myself.
Yeah. And again, like we all talk about that in theory, but like you actually do it. So it's
I actually do it.
I'm like, yes, please let me get like that, Lord. I
actually do it. You would know I'm on vacation when I just posted. Like my friends were like, why you didn't tell me? Girl, stop. You know you
already knew it was coming.
Yeah, you ain't going, girl. I don't plan around anybody. I'll just go. And before me and my boyfriend got together, I was vacationing by myself. I done went to Turkey by myself. I done went to Africa by myself. I would just go by myself. Now it's me and him and we go together. So that's a good thing too. And then we come back and be on the move and then we'll just take that time out and say, well, we'll be going this week. I said, well, this month we got too much going on, but let's just go to Puerto Rico for a couple of days.
Yeah, that's kind of still a big deal here. You act like that was Oklahoma or something. Like
for us, it's up the block. You know, you're 4-hour plane, so it's like you just get on a plane, just go to Jamaica real quick, and just come back, and just to unwind, whether it's 2-3 days, and come back and get back into the grind.
Yeah. So I misspoke earlier. Your boyfriend, I thought that was your husband because y'all are so cute together. So he is in the wellness space as well. Does he do juicing and stuff like that?
Well, a good thing is that he does do juicing now. He actually has a juicing business. Yes. After he done seen me start doing juicing, he decided to do a juicing business. So he's doing really well with that. So actually when me and him got together, I've known him since I've been 14 though. And it so happened he just came to my house and started fixing some stuff up, and then one thing led to another and we wound up linking together. But he's definitely into the wellness as well. Like he never worked out, he never did a juice and that stuff. So when he saw I was doing it, so now he works out now he's juicing. So he's definitely into the wellness part. He don't got it all the way together, but he's taking those baby steps, and which I love.
I love that. You influence him positively in that way.
Yeah. So he picking up on it. He likes it. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So I want to talk about two more things and I'm going to let you go. body positivity, I know that is a big thing right now, and you are really big on that. But I love that you also are very big on like your goals and working towards them. So it's not just like I'm out here, this is me, take me how I am. It's also like, nah, like I used to be this, I'm this, but now I'm working towards this. Can you speak to that, kind of how fat phobia and body positivity has gotten a little bit misconstrued, but how do you position that? Because I really like how you are and how you put your content out. You're not ashamed of yourself, but you also are always aware that you're working towards a goal.
Yeah, because I don't see myself as the flesh that it is. You understand? Like, I see myself as me. I see myself beautiful. I see myself gorgeous. I see myself, I'm Beyonce, and you may not see it,
Yeah.
but I see it.
Yeah.
You may see something else, but I see something else when I take pictures. I see something else that flourishes. I see that I'm a good person. I see that I'm a person from God. I see that I take care of myself. So when I think of about the body, even though the flesh is there and you see all of this, I don't see that. And the outside person may see something different, but I see something else, and I see somebody that's well driven. And I know that my body is where it's at now, and I love where it's at, but I also foresee where it's going.
Yeah.
So that's why I am able to accept any challenge, any body type, anything in my life where I'm at currently. That's me. That's all a part of me. And it doesn't change who I am as a person. Just because my flesh changed on the outside doesn't change my ability to make somebody smile. Doesn't change my ability to take care of my children. I'm still that person. So I appreciate every step of the way, and I just be so proud of it. I'm never been ashamed of my body. I can be 300 pounds and I still walk around like, what? I'm 100 pounds. What you talking about? Girl, bye. But I just see myself differently. And a lot of people, when they look at themselves, they don't see that. So they got to go in deeper. Once you start loving yourself, like deeply loving you, you no shame. Yeah. Because this is all me. I'm going to take my picture from head to toe, no matter what. This is me, and I know where I want to be. And if I was happy where I'm at, this is where it's at. Me, personally, I'm not happy where I'm at, but this is what I'm going to show y'all. I am happy, but I'm also be happier this way, and I'm going to continue doing it that way. But in order for people to get past that, they have to love themselves wholeheartedly. They have to shred the weave, take out the eyelashes, take out everything, and look at themselves from top to bottom and fall in deep in love with their self. Once you fall in love with yourself, nobody can say nothing. Yeah. Nobody. You're like, what? Whatever. Right. That's just it. Yeah. And like, what? I'm beautiful. And you have that smile, you take it with you, but like, man, you're like, well, but look what you got on, girl, bye. I don't hear you. Yeah. I only hear positive things because that's where I drive into myself. I don't take no negative things. I take in all the positivity. Anything negative, I leave it alone. Anything for me, I leave it. Anything that's positive that drives me, I put it inside my body and it keeps me going and keeps me pumped. Yeah. And that's the kind of energy that I bring too, because even on my page, you don't see people like badging me and stuff like that, because the energy I bring in that positivity, because that's how I feel about myself. I want other people to feel that way. That's why I put content out like that. I want people to feel like, love you. This is you. Yeah. Love everything about you. And if somebody don't like the love, which they love about you, then they not for you. Get them out your space. And that's the reason why I put out content like that. But for the most part, I love myself a lot. And I don't see that body, whatever that D word is.
That makes me feel like I wonder, people that try to act like they have that body positivity, is it real? Because, you see people kind of giving them hate and giving them bad energy, but maybe it's because people could feel that you're not being honest even within yourself. So for you, it's like you really are putting out this real confidence that is genuine. So ain't nobody gonna come to you with no foolishness, because they know, you know what I mean? It's like they know it's real.
And plus, I've done this. I've done it many times before. Like I've got big and I lose the weight and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely real. And I know that I talk to people a lot. And even though I don't actually be in their face and they're not actually hear my face, it's the energy and the connection that you have with one another. Where somebody say, telling me, for some reason, I believe everything you're saying. Yeah. Did my thing turn off?
Oh,
Hello?
it went out. There, you're back.
Hello? Yeah, I
Can
got
you
to
hear
put
me?
my headphones. My headphones. Yeah, I can hear you though.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you never went out. I heard you the whole time. So it was just
It was my
you were.
headphones doing
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But that's how I feel about that part.
I love that. I love you. I love you even more from hearing you talk. I knew this was who you were, but it's even better hearing you share your story. So I definitely am. Oh, I had one more question. This is it. So I'm about to go on a 10-day juice cleanse. Any juicing advice? Because I know you juice a lot.
Yeah, that's just so weird because I'm about to go on one too again. Um, the first 3 days is hard.
Yeah.
That's number one. But the advice that I can give for you is if this is something that you really want,
Hmm.
lock in and you just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just lock in and do it and just understand that you're not going to die and there's benefits at the end of it. And every time that you're hungry, you just juice. You're just
Yeah.
taking more juice. But the most important thing, it's a mental thing. And before you go on that juice cleanse, you need to just talk to yourself, go into the bathroom and look in that mirror and say, I'm about to do this juice cleanse, right? And your other person will be like, right. But like, I need you to be there for me, right? But like, yeah, right. No, we gonna do this, right? And you're like, yeah, right. And like, we locked in.
Yeah.
And then you look at yourself and you say, I'm going to do it and I'm not going to give up. And when every time I think I'm about to give up, I'm going to come back in this bathroom and I'm going to look at you again. Hey, hey, hey. Like, I'm here. But it's
Yeah.
all a mental thing. Just prepare yourself, have your juices available for yourself, and just lock in. Just say, I'm going to bite the bullet, bite it,
Yeah.
lock in, and just do it. And just know that it's been done before. That's another thing. When people don't know if they'll be able to do it, like, nah, Katie did it.
Yeah.
Jack did it. Bill did it. Why Kimberly can't do it? You
Right.
kidding me?
Right.
He did
Yeah.
it. She did it. I'ma do it.
Yeah.
And that's all. It's just a mental thing. Just lock in. I mean, when I say lock in and do
Yeah.
it. Don't give up on yourself. And when you think about giving up yourself, go back in that bathroom, look at yourself again, like, hey, hey. And then you're locked back in. That's what I do with myself all the time when I say, oh my God, I don't feel like doing this. But you committed it to it. Lock
Yeah.
in. Do it. And then you
Yeah.
just get it done. And then you feel so much better that you set yourself up for something and you actually completed it.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
the
good.
advice I can give you.
No, that's real good. That's real. That's good. I love the self talk. It makes me think about Issa Rae on Insecure, her little mirror raps. So I know everybody's going to so enjoy this episode. I feel like do you need to write a book or something? You got a
You
whole
know
lot of
what?
story to tell.
It's just crazy that I was in the midst of writing a book. I was even sharing it on my page. I started doing it verbally. And then, I don't know, God, well, he has intentions for me, but he keeps me busy, girl.
Yeah.
He keeps me busy. And then when I want to just sit back and do something, I said, well, not right now. I got my daughter. She's going to school to be a pharmacist. I got my son about to go to college. I got my other daughter who just graduated from college. I got my son who's about to have a baby. So it's like I have a lot going on. So I'm feel like I just can't wait till I have that time to just sit back and do these things that I really want to do, which is write a book. I want to do a YouTube channel. I want to do so much in life, but God got me busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you will. It'll happen. Timing is
He got me
perfect.
busy.
It'll happen because you
It
have a
will.
lot to
It
share.
will definitely happen. When the time is right, he will sit there and he will like, see, told you.
Yep.
And then I just be receptive to receiving it and keep moving.
Absolutely. Well, in the meantime, you are really inspiring people with your content and how you share. And so thank you for that. You are like my biggest encourager right now. When I see you get up in the morning, I'm like, yep, let's go. Let's get this day going. So thank you. Thank
so
you.
much. I appreciate
Everybody
it.
where they could follow you on social and keep up with you.
Oh, you can follow me at Sharail Jordan. That's Sharail Jordan, Jordan. That was it at Instagram.com. Yeah. So it's just my first and my last name.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much. I know y'all enjoyed this episode. So please go and follow Sharail. Keep up with her. She's gonna motivate you. So don't follow her if you ain't ready to get into this thing for real. But I know y'all enjoyed it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And bye girls. Bye. Thank you.